powder. Hey, you want to make a video today? Yeah? Alright, how about something weird? Yeah? You think so? Alright. 5.7 it is then. Alright.
Hi everyone, it's Joel Ellison with Pinnacle Mountain Gunsmithing. I've got a weird one here for you today. We're going to be talking about the Palmetto State Armory PSA 5.7 Rock. That's a pistol in 5.7 by 28. Before we get started, let me do a little demonstration of what exactly is 5.7. Alright, here we have our ammo lineup. From left to right, that's 22 long rifle, 32 ACP, 380 auto, 9x19. That's our 5.7 by 28, 38 special, 10mm auto, 45 ACP, and 5.56/223 Remington. I'm doing this just to make sure everybody knows what we're talking about, since 5.7 is, compared to all of these other calibers, is a relatively new thing. But the bullet itself is 22 caliber, and the case is 28 millimeters long. It's a bottleneck case, like 5.56, but also has zero taper in the main body, like 38 special. Alright, let's get on to the pistol. Alright, since we're doing on a theme of comparisons here, let's compare three different pistols that are roughly similar size to our pistol today. Here's our pistol today, the 5.7 Rock. This is a Glock 20 and 10mm auto, and this is a typical GI 1911. As you can see, all three of these pistols are very similarly sized. Although in terms of actual handling and weight, the 5.7 Rock is about half the weight of the 45 ACP USGI 1911. It's roughly equivalent, pretty much the same weight and handling size as a Glock 20. So there's a little more information for you. Alright, here's our pistol itself. Now, of course, I have to do the obligatory safety sound check. And, of course, there is no round in the chamber. Magazines for these pistols hold a whopping 23 rounds of 5.7 by 28. And as you can see by the retention notches on either side, and the pistol can be set up for left or right-handed use. Right now I have it set up for right-handed use. But yeah, these are quite nice magazines. The rounds slip in easy. It's a double stack, double feed magazine, which means it's very easy to get rounds in and out. But that aside, the pistol itself, it's a delayed blowback pistol with kind of a lever delaying mechanism. It's not a tilting barrel like you'll find in most Browning style pistols, like the Glock or the 1911 or most others, but it instead has a lever delay mechanism. As you can see, the slide and barrel retract together for a short while, and then the slide retracts alone and comes back. I can show you the internals a little bit better when I break this down. But just looking at external controls, we have a trigger with trigger safety, suppressor height sights on this particular example. There are multiple variations available. On this side, we have our magazine release set up for right-handed use, and also our slide hold open, which just for administrative holding open, and also can drop the slide when you are out of ammo. This particular one has a titanium nitride finish barrel with threading on it, so the barrel is about 5.5 inches long. That's about in line with the Glock 20 and 1911 barrels as well. But of course, a very different cartridge. there's a lot more information out there on the 5.7 by 28 from a number of reputable channels. Feel free to look at those, and there's a lot more information and history about that. Oh, one more control while we're here. We also have our takedown lever. I'll show you more about that in a minute. Out front we have Picatinny rails and our obligatory serial number plate. On the grip, I really like these grips. We have an undercut trigger guard, very large trigger guard as well, with a little bump for your middle finger, and nice texturing on the front and back strap, as well as the sides. Even on the rear, even though this is a large pistol, the grip still feels quite slim. And we have our back of our striker plate back here. Sights on these are quite nice. This particular example was shooting very, very low, which I've corrected by filing down the front sight, thus bringing the point of impact up. And I also did a little bit of fire bluing on that front sight, just so you really can't tell I've done anything. But now the pistol hits more exactly where I'm aiming. Let me go ahead and show you the breakdown on this particular pistol. First, as always, check to make sure there's no magazine and no rounds in the chamber, both visually and tactile, as always with any pistol. Drop the slide, pull the trigger, and that's why you check the chamber. You heard the striker drop, and you can retract the slide just a little bit. I'm using my hand here and just going back about that far. And I can pull the takedown lever down just a little bit, allowing the slide simply to come forward. Then you can lift it right off the pistol. All right. Here we have our recoil spring, captive. Very nice. Also a little button that just aids reassembly a little bit. It may also have something to do with the recoil. I'm not real sure. This particular example has that threaded barrel, which can be used to attach all sorts of muzzle devices, including whisper pickles, which would be a very welcome addition on this pistol because 5.7 out of a barrel this short is extremely loud, with a lot of blast coming out. That allows us to nice and easily remove our barrel. As you could probably notice from the barrel itself, it's not locking into the slide at all. Now, how does it do that? Unlike, say, this Glock, you can see the barrel tilting. Yep, right there at the back. Yep. See how this has to go down in order for the slide to retract and the barrel to unlock? Well, this doesn't do that at all. Similarly with the 1911, same thing, at least same idea, just different execution. I'll show you how that recoil delay mechanism works. Up here, inside the frame, we have this little flappy lever. The takedown mechanism is that little button. And if you'll notice, when I pull the button, it also pulls that lever down. And that's what allows the slide to come off the pistol. When the barrel is inside the frame, that lever rides into this little notch. That way when the pistol's in battery, it's up like that, and when it's coming back from recoil, it travels right to there and just stops. That is rather clever, and is part of the... It's similar to how lots of other 5.7 pistols work, including the original, the FN 5.7, which this is a much more sane version of that, honestly. There's a lot less goofy nonsense going on, less goofy safeties. Let's see, this trigger just has a standard trigger dingus, just like a Glock. If that dingus isn't pressed, then yeah, pistol doesn't fire. Let's see, we have let's see if I can shine the light in to the inside of this a little better. There we go. Yeah. You can see the trigger bar goes along this side of the pistol, Goes right on back to our sear. Now there's actually kind of two sears up to this. This is a striker fired pistol, meaning there's just a little firing pin and a spring at the back of the slide. I can take that apart and show that to you in a minute. But yeah, that's really all that's letting the pistol fire. It's similar to a Glock, more similar to a Glock than a 1911 in that regard. The 1911, of course, has a hammer. All those pistols would come in handy for this demonstration. But yeah, this trigger bar is turning a sear, which I don't know if I can show you in this light. I'm going to call this the primary sear right here. Yeah. When you pull the trigger, yes, the bit you can see moving there, yeah, that's all that the trigger does. This right here, this part that comes up here, that's part of your drop safety, or it deactivates the internal drop safety, which is this little plunger right here. Yeah, sorry, I have to turn it so I can see it. This drop safety also acts as your disconnector. This is your secondary sear inside the pistol, and all that's doing is holding the striker back. When you pull the trigger, two things happen. First, this little lever rises. That lever, that deactivates the firing pin safety, and also that allows your sear to tip forward. And when the slide recoils backwards, that depresses the drop safety, and that, if you heard that little click, allows the primary sear to come back up, which blocks the secondary sear for when the slide goes forward again. And that also disconnects the trigger bar from the primary sear. That way, when you take your finger off the trigger, it's reset, and the striker is held back, therefore making this a straight, nice and easy semi-automatic pistol. To switch it from left to right-handed use, it's really pretty simple, especially for the magazine retention button. There is a small flat spring. The top of it is right here. It's kind of shaped like a wishbone. One end of it goes against the frame, the other end goes against the magazine retention button. And to either take the magazine retention catch out, or just to switch it around, is take that spring out, and yeah, that's really all you need to do. That's a whole lot easier than, say, a Glock's magazine retention catch and spring, which is pretty much just a paper clip shoved way down in the frame that I really need. For most Glocks, I really need needle nose pliers to get to that. In any case, let's take a look more closely at the slide. There's some more neat features on this. Stand by. Oh, before we go away from the slide, let me also point out the 4 rail sections that the slide and the frame interface with. As held on with 1, 2, 3, 4 rail sections. Those are nice and easy. Nice and easy to machine, and hold the slide accurately enough. You'll remember when we disassembled the pistol, the slide went forward just about a ½ inch or so. That is because of cutouts right here, 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 and here. And yeah, that way you don't have to slide the entire slide all the way off the frame, which is nice. Let's see, we have a nice extractor right here, which is essential for good pistol operation. You should always clean under your extractor whenever possible. This particular pistol doesn't lend itself well to that because the pin that holds it in, which is kind of at a weird angle, like about here to the other end of the pin, which comes out inside the slide. That's actually pressed in, I think, hydraulically at the factory, and you really should not take that out, and you really shouldn't need to, but in any case, I digress. This particular slide, as we pointed out, has the nice high suppressor height sights, and also is equipped with a plate system, which, we might put an optic on this one day with a red dot specifically. But yeah, it's quite nice. Now I'm doing this just for demonstration purposes, but in order to take the back plate off and expose the guts and the striker, I'm just pushing in this little retention button here at the back, doing that with a punch, and making sure you're in frame, just barely, and be sure to put your hand over the back, because that can launch the back end of that plunger all the way across the room if you're not careful. Go ahead, ask me how I know. Here is our very long striker spring, along with its little guide rod. Here's our plate, which is just a little plastic retainer. And here is our extractor. Now there's a little plastic block back here, which can be easily pushed out, fairly easy. And that holds our striker. Yep. Boop. And that's what hits the primer and allows the pistol to function. Alright, on the side we can see our firing pin safety. I'm just being very careful not to lose any springs or anything, because half of this comes right out. And there's our striker. And there is our striker safety. Nice and easy. And that's really all the guts inside of this thing, except the extractor and the sights, which, by the way, are Glock patterns, so you have a plethora of options out there for these. We also have some nice vent holes. Some people colloquially call those speed holes. They do lighten the slide a little bit, but mainly it's just to look cool. Which, yeah, I will admit, it does look cool. In any case, yeah, that's pretty much all the guts of the pistol. The striker itself we have here, that's the actual business end. And this end, this little surface right, getting my pointer, here, that's what actually catches on that sear. That's all that keeps it from firing. This particular part is just pretty much a flat piece of metal. It looks like this is die cast. Not sure if it's aluminum or steel, but actually I'm pretty sure it's steel. In any case, it's pretty robust, pretty simple firing system. It just slides in this channel and is blocked by this little guy. And that's its return spring. The rest of the frame is fairly straightforward to take apart. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 pins to knock out, and both the front and the back sections of it come apart quite easy. There's lots of internal springs and tiny pins on the inside that are held in just by the frame, and because once it's assembled, it's not going anywhere. There's really not a whole lot you should look out for. It's a pretty neat little straightforward pistol. Alright, let me reassemble this and I'll go ahead and wrap it out. Stand by. Hey folks, just a quick reassembly note on these particular pistols. The recoil spring goes in this orientation with a button facing towards the breech. Just slide her in there, into the front end, and make sure it's centered on the barrel. Alright, now with those little cutouts we mentioned. I can use those to nice and easily slide the slide back onto the frame. There we go, making sure that's in frame. And just pull it back a little bit. Let's do a quick function check. Yep, striker falls, slide reciprocates, reset, and striker falls again. All right. Let me also do a couple of thoughts on these magazines. They're also kind of neat. When they're loaded, they look a lot like a little AR magazine. They're marked there on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it with that glare. 5.7 by 28 on the bottom. And they're also marked for capacity. 5, 10, 15, 20, and the final one, 23 rounds. They also disassemble in kind of a unique, odd way. You see the logo there at the bottom? That's actually your magazine retention button. And you can press that in just a little bit and slide this off gently, keeping your finger here to catch the spring because it really wants to slide out. Whee! And that's how much tension you're holding. Yeah. Nice typical spring for magazines, and that follower feels like it's a little sticky. And it probably just is a little cantankerous in getting out. But yeah, there we go. I don't know if that wants to come out. Stand by. Okay, there we go. There's the follower. It's got these little anti-tilt little extensions on it. That makes the magazine a little more reliable, but it also, if the spring isn't in place, it can cause it to hang up inside the magazine body, which being able to take the magazines apart like this very easily makes them very easy to clean. That's often a source of dirt I find in most pistols, especially semi-auto ones. That just slides right back in there. Slide the shoe into the body. There are a couple of little alignment pins on the front of the shoe here. Nothing in the back, which is interesting. I guess that keeps it in contact with the base pad a little better. The base pad is also nicely contoured such that you can easily pull it out of the pistol if there ever is a problem. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I'll go ahead and wrap it out. Step by. Alright, here we are, all back assembled. PSA is one of my favorite gun manufacturers in the market today, bar none. They make good, reliable, affordable products in a wide variety of different configurations. I mean, this pistol alone is available in a variety of colors, both in the frame, in the slide, barrels. You can get them solid, you can get them fluted, you can get them with flame fluting, you can get them with chameleon coatings, pretty much whatever you want. One of my future projects is actually going to be to turn this pistol a different color. This is actually my wife's pistol. Yes, that's right. She kind of wants to go with a emerald green on the frame and slide, and turn the controls golden, kind of like the barrel. In any case, that's going to be a future project. I hope you enjoyed our discussion of the FN 5.7, the PSA 5.7 Rock. I hope you enjoyed our discussion, and hopefully you found it interesting. Before we go, I also want to say thank you to all the new subscribers since we first started doing this. I had no idea how popular this would be. I thank you truly from the bottom of my heart. We really appreciate your interest, your concern, and we hopefully we can earn your business sometime. Feel free, if you want to support our work, check us out at PinnacleMountainGunsmithing.com. Feel free to send us an email, make an appointment, and hopefully we'll see you sometime. Thanks. Goodbye. We'll see you next time.